Welcome back. It is Thursday, November 30th in the NBA. My three favorite picks are on the way. Let's recap yesterday. A very good day for us, 4-2 overall. Let's talk about it. We had Anthony Davis and Zion Williamson's over in points. Those both got it done easily, cashing in the third quarter. We also added two plays yesterday after the video. Sengun's over in points plus assists, and Jokic is over in rebounds plus assists. Those both got it done rather easily. A reminder, if we do add a play, always check the pinned comment to see if we add one. It doesn't happen a ton, but sometimes guys get ruled out, and that opens up some value for some other guys. So always check that pinned comment. I also post it on our Twitter at Calling Our Shot. If we add a play, I'll also send it out early to our DubClub and our members that pay early for our picks on the COS All-Stars too. So always check the pinned comment. Today might be a day we add a play. So that's why I'm saying that. I don't add plays a ton, but today there's a lot of injury news out there. So we might add one. Now let's talk about our two losers. Day one of the Ladder Challenge obviously lost yesterday. Banchero screwed us, but then Paul George did nothing in the second half. And then Franz Wagner, we had his under 22.5 points, our two losers. On paper, you look at Franz, he went off for 31 points. You're like, what the heck, Austin? Why are you taking his under? He only shot 14 times. If you looked at Franz this season, when he shot 14 or less, he never scored more than 20 points. It just so happens we picked him on a night. He shoots his best percentage, probably one of his best percentages, if not his best in his NBA career. That's why I don't take a lot of unders, because I swear that always happens. But either way, let's dive into today's picks. We got three of them for you all today. Plus, if we add a pick, always check that pinned comment section down below. We also have some more picks, three of them in the NFL. It is that Seahawks and Cowboys video. That game, that video was posted last night. Definitely go check it out. We had an 8-2 week last week in the NFL. Looking to build on it today. I have a 1.5 unit play over there too. So my biggest play of the day is actually in the NFL. So go check out that video after this one. I'll link it in the pinned comment section down below. We also have a new second channel video dropping, and we have two free squares, which details about those are down below. And speaking of the second channel, let's go to one of our most popular videos on the second channel. It involves a guy that I watched his first and second ever NBA games. Got his jersey on today, Victor Wembanyama. We're backing him for his over 34.5 points, rebounds, and assists, abbreviated to PRAs. I really like Victor to dominate, not only scoring the basketball, but on the glass. And if he wants to get some assists too, we will happily take those. But if you look at Victor so far this season, he's had an up and down season. He is a rookie. That's going to happen. They're going to have their good games, have their bad games. Now, if you're like, Austin is bumped up to 35.5, I personally would look at his points plus rebounds line at that point. If the difference between the points plus rebounds is 4, go to the PR instead of the PRAs. I'm taking PRAs because I think Victor can get me 3 assists, could get me 4 or 5, but I'd rather take the PR if the difference is 4. But let's talk about Victor. Last 3 games, he's averaged 22 points per game, 11.7 rebounds per game, and 3 assists per game. Good for 36.7 PRAs in those games. 40, 35, and 35 PRAs. So he is over in 3 straight. Now you might be like, Austin, the man ain't making it easy. He just had 35 on the dot twice in a row. Why are we taking his PRAs? We don't want to be sweating the whole game. Well, yeah, you're right. I don't want to sweat it all game, but I think this is the best matchup he will see out of these last 3 games. And while the Spurs are getting healthier and healthier, I still do think he is the best matchup for them. I mean, you think about the last couple games, Clippers, Warriors, and Nuggets, 3 teams that actually try on the defensive side. Speaking of a team that doesn't try, the Atlanta Hawks, that is. Now, the Hawks do only one thing good on defense. That is limiting opposing point guards' points. And that's because, if we'll talk about it in a second, but they allow the 4th fewest points per game, the 2nd most assists per game to point guards. Why? Because they just double the point guard. You see any guy set a screen, Zach Collins, Victor Wembanyama, they set a screen, they're doubling whoever's got the ball because that's just what they want to do. However, when you do that, you leave guys wide open in the middle of the paint, hence why they give up a ton of points in the paint, and hence why we saw just last game. The Cavaliers, they had Evan Mobley and Jared Allen. Those guys shot 13 for 17 from the field. Those guys were just literally, they were scoring every single point at the rim because Clint Capella's out there trying to, guard a point guard, doubling him, and you just see those guys roll into the hoop. So I think if we see Victor Wembanyama in that role where we see him set some screens, he will have plenty of opportunity and plenty of just airspace in the middle of the court, and he can do whatever he wants with the basketball, make a mid-range, go and dunk the ball, go and get an assist to his teammate on the back door. I really think there's a lot of different opportunities for Wembanyama to just absolutely feast on this team. We just saw, like I said, Evan Mobley went off against them. Not only did he have 17 points, he also had 19 rebounds. I mean, you think about the guy he's going to guard, Saddiq Bey, who, when you think of Jalen Johnson, the guy that normally he would guard, he's out. And now you got him guarding Saddiq Bey, who's not involved a lot in the offense. So really, we're going to see Victor Wembanyama just rolling on defense in terms of roaming, just kind of roaming around, blocking shots if guys come into the paint, but really just corralling a bunch of rebounds as Zach Collins deals with Capella. I think this is a great game. We could see Victor Wembanyama. Obviously, we know he could score 25 points any given night. And in this matchup, that wouldn't surprise me. But I also think he's capable of getting 10, 15, a big rebounding type night, or even getting like 5 or 6 assists in a game that has a super high over under. I really like Victor Wembanyama today. We will roll with him over 34.5 points, rebounds, and assists. I know he has a hip injury on the injury report. He is questionable. If he doesn't play, we get our money back. I don't think the Spurs put him out there if there's any risk of re-injuring him. I just think every team is listing guys on the injury report because of the new rules where if you arrest the guy, they might fine you. So I think you're getting every single guy thrown onto the injury report for any single ailment. I think Victor plays tonight. If he doesn't, we'll get our money back, but I think he's out there. I think he fills up the stat sheet. Give me his over 34.5 points, rebounds, and assists, PRAs. Now, my second pick is actually going to another rookie who actually himself is on the injury report too. Same kind of thing. If he doesn't play, we're going to get our money back, but I think he plays today, and we'll talk about why. Taking Brandon Miller of the Charlotte Hornets over 14.5 points, minus 105 on PointsBet. Now, I don't really love this at 15.5, and I don't think you need to take it at 15.5 because most books should have the ability to take that 15 plus points. I would take that right around to minus 125 or minus 130. I don't mind his points plus rebounds line though either. I did consider that, but let's talk about the Hornets, who are now obviously down LaMelo Ball for an extended time. We don't have an exact timeline, but he's going to be out for at least a couple weeks in my opinion. And the Hornets, they got a lot of usage to go around, and we saw in LaMelo's first game that he missed. Brandon Miller, 36 minutes. 18 shots, 18 points versus the New York Knicks, a very good defense. And the two other games where we saw LaMelo play less than 25 minutes, one was when he got into foul trouble and played like 21 minutes. The other was a game in which he got injured in. We saw Miller, 20 and 22 points. So when LaMelo's out, they need usage and they need guys to shoot the basketball, and Brandon Miller's been stepping up for him. And one of those games actually came against the Brooklyn Nets when we saw LaMelo get into foul trouble. That was a game where we saw him have 22 points on 16 field goal attempts. Also had 9 rebounds, which is why I didn't mind his points plus rebounds. But look, the Nets, love them or hate them, they're an interesting team to watch. I don't see them blowing out the Hornets because the Nets they just don't blow out a ton of teams, and I don't see them getting blown out by the Hornets either. And they have good defenders out there. They got Mikal Bridges, they got Dorian Finney-Smith, two guys that can go and make life more difficult on Terry Rozier and Mikal Bridges. But at the end of the day, Brandon Miller should still have a decent matchup, and I still think he's going to fire the ball up. I mean, you look at him this season, averaging 14.4 points per game, right at this line. He's averaging 11.9 field goal attempts, 4.5 three-point attempts of those shots. And the Nets are a team that allowed the 6th most three-pointers in the NBA. With Claxton in the paint, I think they're going to have open opportunities for Miller. And end of the day, this is a guy shooting 37% from three in an advantageous matchup against the Nets. I think we see him shoot 14, 15 times. There's also a guy that's not necessarily blowout proof. I'm not going to say he's going to play in a game if they're down by 50, but he's a guy that they obviously have incentive to play. The Hornets are not going anywhere this season. I think they know that by now, but they also want to see what they got in Brandon Miller, the guy they spent the 3rd overall pick on. So they're going to play him a lot of minutes, 36 minutes in their last game when they still lost by like 23 points. He's going to be out there a ton. I really like Brandon Miller. Give me his over in points. I think this is a great spot to back him. I think this is a good opportunity for him to get up some shots. I think it's a good matchup too for him. I think we'll take Brandon Miller over 14.5 points. That's 2 rookies we get. Now, my third play will be day 1 of the ladder challenge. We're going to run it back. I know it was a disappointing last 2 days. I mean, we got wrecked by Sabonis. Banchero wrecked us too, and Paul George, I guess, if you will, too. But I'm really confident today. We got some NFL games on, and if today hits, I might start sticking a little bit more to NFL days, so like Thursdays, Sundays, and Mondays, because it feels like we have a better read on the NFL. I mean, the NFL, in my opinion, you get a lot more less juiced props. I mean, obviously, we might start going to where we take just one play, and we kind of take one play and try to roll that over every single day. And if we can hit 10 straight, of my best bets, if you will, then we'll do that. Or maybe we take my 2 favorite plays and kind of lower them a little bit, which we certainly could do today. But I think this is a good opportunity to try to tackle some NFL legs where we have some good odds, whether you're talking about guys to get 25 receiving yards or things of that nature. So stay tuned for that. Not going to be posted at 11 a.m. like it has been the past couple days, probably by 1 p.m. Eastern time. So still plenty of time for you all to get it in. Going to wait a little bit for some more injury news before diving into what we want to do for the ladder challenge. But we always track them for 1 unit. And obviously we're going to start with $10 and we're cashing today. We're going to day 2 tomorrow. You got my word on that. But either way, those are my favorite picks of the day. If you want to go check out my Seahawks and Cowboys video, that is linked somewhere on the screen. Also, a day in the life of myself. You can go check out that video. That video is almost at 10,000 subscribers. And we have a new second channel video. Check it out. I'll post it on the screen when it is live. Should be live by lunchtime for you all to enjoy while you're eating your lunch. But either way, it's Austin. Let's sign out. Let's bring out the brooms tomorrow. And if we do add a play, check the pin comment, of course. It's Austin. I'm signing out. See you in the next one. Peace.